In this tutorial we're going to add a few more features to our Massage View website. First of all, we're going to create the staff page, and we're going to use a table and see how tables can be used for formatting content on a page. We're also going to add hyperlinks in the text so that people click on text, it takes them to the other page, and then we'll have a very brief look at how to change the size, the width of a page. So let's start off first of all with a table. Now the staff page should give details of 2 members of staff and the text. So I want to put that into a table format with the images of the staff on the left hand side and the text about the staff on the right hand side. Let's first of all bring up, because I haven't got any of the panels showing, so we go to Window. I want Insert, because that's where we're going to get the tables from, and also at the same time it's brought up the files and assets as well, so I can see everything in my website. Okay, let's have a look at, we're given the staff details in this Word document, so if I click on this, okay, there's not a lot of content there, and on your pages see if you can get a decent image for each member of staff, but I'm just going to use this clip art for the moment. So basically what I want is image on one side and the text on the other. And I'm going to use a table, which is probably the easiest way to format it. I'm going to put the table underneath the page header, the heading 1, which is staff. So I'm going to click where I want the table. I'll go to the Insert panel, and if you haven't got it showing, it's click on Common. These are common tasks. And you click down, there's one called Table, you double click, and this is going to insert a HTML table onto our web page. It will probably on yours come up with rows 4, columns 4, but you want 2 by 2, so 2 rows, 2 columns. I'm going to have 100%, so the table will stretch across the main content area. I could put a border around it. Let's just put a simple border then, 2 pixels, and that'll be it for the moment. So we get a little table appears, and as you can see it's got 4 cells, 2 rows, 2 columns. Let's just, and now we need to do is paste in our content. So I'm going to go to the Massage for You details we've been given. Let's copy the clip art for the first member of staff, paste that over here. I've forgotten what his name is. I'm just going to type in male. So he goes on that side, and let's put the text in. As you can see, just like in HTML tables, well, it is an HTML table, the size of the table, the size of the cell increases, expands to match whatever's put into it. So it should change again when we put the content in. Okay, so we've got Marcus details. Let's get the next one before we tidy it up, and that's the lady, that's Sharona. So copy the image in, and let's get the text that applies to her. Okay, so we've got a basic table layout, which we can look at very briefly in the live view. What I want to do though is I want to get some space around these images because they're right up against the border, so we can create some space. Actually, the way we do it is using table spacing. If I click on the table, let's make sure I've highlighted the whole table. So I've clicked down here at the bottom, and this is Dreamweaver saying what particular part of the page I want to highlight. So I've highlighted the table. What I'm going to do now is change some of the characteristics of the table. First of all, the cell padding. So that's the padding around the content in the cell. Let's give it a bit of space because I'm going to give it 4 pixels. And this cell spacing is the space that's between each of the cells. I'm going to make that 4 as well. Okay, so now we have a little bit of spacing around the images, as you can see, and we also have a little bit of spacing between the 2 cells. Let's have a look at that in live view. That's near enough what I want. One extra thing, I'm just going to make the names of the staff headings. So I'll go to highlight them, go down to HTML in the property inspector, Let's make them heading 3 so they stand out. Okay, so the table's how I want it laid out. I've got the images and people on the right. As I said, you don't have to have a border around the table. I've chosen a border, but you can have it one other thing I want to do though is put in a hyperlink. Now some of the text, obviously you know what hyperlinks are, so hyperlinks are where someone clicks on the text and it takes them to somewhere else that's relevant to that text. And under Sharona we've got one of the treatments she's very good at is Indian head massage. Now we've got a page in our site specifically on Indian head massage, so I'm going to hyperlink that, and it's very quick in Dreamweaver. So I've highlighted the text Indian head massage. I go down to the property inspector. I can actually drill to the Indian head massage file using the folder, but I'm going to click on this point to file image, and you literally drag, if I can just get it dragging properly, you literally drag to where you want to highlight. So I'm going to drag that to Reiki, Indian head massage. And what that does is that gives us a hyperlink, so when someone clicks on that text Indian head massage, you can see down the bottom it's actually put in a link to it. So let's see that's working. Okay, so this is our staff page, fairly basic, but it's laid out for, it's quite clear to see anyway. And you'll notice under Sharona there is a hyperlink, and I click on it and I go to Indian head massage and I go back to staff. Final thing I'm going to show you now is how to increase the size of the page, which we don't need to do for Massage for You, or we could do, but we'd have to change alter the way the pages look. But when you work on other sites like the Computer Crazy case study, where they want the page to be 1050 pixels, you need to change the size. Now Dreamweaver, when you create a page, has a default size of 800 pixels. Actually it's just under that, 780 pixels, but it doesn't really matter. But let's look at changing the size. Now to change the size of the page you need to change the CSS styles that control the size of the page. So I'm going to open that panel, the CSS styles panel. It's actually in the container panel. The container is, if you like, what contains the whole of the page. So if I double click on that, I bring up the rule for container. I'm going to go down to box, and you can see that the overall page size, the default that Dreamweaver uses, is 780 pixels. I'm going to make that 1050 and apply it, press OK, and let's just see what that's done. Okay, so you can see the page is much wider, and what's happened is that the banner size, obviously I need to make that a little larger as well. So the whole page is increased in size, 10,050. Now I've just done it on here as a practice. You don't need to do it on the Massage for You site, but you just need to be aware of where to do it. And when you come to building a website, you may want to change the main content size as well. You use that using the CSS styles. Okay, at this point just pause the video, add the tables into the staff page, add the hyperlink to Indian massage, and have a try at changing the page size. Just see that you can actually do that.